compound occurring in the earth's crust along with impurities is called mineral. In the earth crust, some of the metals they are available in the compound form. If you take for example CaCO3, in that calcium metal is there. Occurring in the earth crust along with impurities is called a mineral. Next, what is ore? A slight difference will be there in between these two. And what is the industry which is there in Ukkunagaram? Which metal they are going to extract? Which metal will be extracted in Ukkunagaram? Huh? Steel is an alloy, iron. Okay, iron is having different minerals. Iron metal is having different. It is available in different minerals. From which mineral the iron metal will be extracted very easily by spending. If you take for 1,000 rupees, if they spend, they can able to get nearly 20 or 30,000 rupees worth the iron metal. If they get, then we can say that yes, it is profitable business. In the same manner, out of 4 or 5 minerals, only one mineral, only through one mineral easily we can extract the metal. That is what we are calling it as ore. Okay, here ore is also a mineral from which a metal can be extracted conveniently and economically. Economically means spending less and getting more profits. Conveniently is called ore. What makes the difference between these two? Ore is also a mineral, but from this ore easily, and we can able to, by spending very less amount, you can able to get more profits. By getting the metal, you can able, by selling it we can get more profits. That is what called as ore. So once again let us see that metallurgy is the branch of chemistry and we are extracting the metals from the mineral ores. Is it clear? Now tell me some of the non-metals. Hmm? Hmm. Some more metals. Some more metals I will give. First. Hmm. What? Next, you tell me. See here. Is it clear? What are the properties or what are the characteristic features of metals? You tell me. What are the characteristic features of metals? See, ductility means the metals can be made into very thin wires. That is what ductile nature. Next, what is the other character? Sonority means if you just strike one metal with the other metal, we are able to get some sonorous sound. Then malleability means metals can be made into very thin sheets. Next, another one, they may be hard. Most of the metals they may be hard. Which are the two soft metals? You tell me. Which are the two soft metals? One is not mercury. Mercury is the metal which is existing at room temperature in the liquid state. At room temperature in the no. Which two metals means sodium and potassium? One is sodium metal and the other one potassium metal. These two are the soft metals. The rest of all the metals are hard. Gold is very hard to touch. Silver also the same. Other metals except mercury. Next, you tell me which metals are brittle. Some they are having brittle nature. Brittle nature means what? Easily we can break into pieces without using any instrument. Some of the metals, aluminum, if you bend the wire 2 or 3 times, it will break into pieces. Next, you see in the same one only they have given extraction of metals from their ores. Different types of ores are available in nature. Number one, oxide ores You see that oxide words, sulfide words, carbonate words. Pyrite means sulfide only. Pyrite means it is nothing but sulfide ore only. Next other one is sulfate also there. Sulfate ores and halide ores. Ores are of different types. One is oxide ore. Second one is pyrite. Third one is carbonate. Fourth one is sulfate. Fifth one is halide. Halide means here NaCl. It is the metal halide. Sodium chloride we can say. Now another one is how we can able to make that alloys. Metals they will be available in alloy form. What is an alloy? Tell me. See, just a few minutes back, one person told me that steel is an alloy of iron. And in that little carbon compound also there, carbon element also there, and chromium will be there. So that is what one alloy. Two or more than two metals with a small quantity of non-metal to give some extra qualities to the metal. That is what we are calling it as alloy. Now you tell me bronze, Ithadi. It is a combination of copper and zinc. And bronze, if you take, bronze means kanchu. It is a combination of copper and Sn means stannum, tin. These two. Brass means Ittadi. It is a combination of two different metals. One is copper and zinc. So, like copper, it will not get any kind of rusting. Bronze, if you take bronze, kanchu, it is a combination of copper with tin, tin metal. Okay. Next page. Yellow means see two or more than two metals. They combine with one non-metal with less quantity and homogeneous mixture. When they are in the molten stage, they will just make it as homogeneous mixture that will be solidified, and we are calling that one as the alloy. See, if you take Jura alumin, one alloy is there. Jura alumin. Earlier days, the people they used to use up only aluminum is the lightest metal, so it will be used in aircrafts. But nowadays they are not using aluminum because lot of friction they have to face at the time of air crashes and all. That is what they are using Jura alumin. It is stronger than aluminum. It is lighter than aluminum. It is an alloy. Aluminum will be there in that, but some other metals and one of the non-metal also in some cases we are able to find which gives some extra quality to that particular metal. That is what we are calling it as alloy. Here, brass is one alloy and bronze is another alloy. Is it clear? No, no sound from others. Is it audible or not? Next one you see. Next picture. See here, pyrite ores. It was given to you. Look into your screen. Pyrite means sulfur content will be there in that. Sulfur content. Sulfur normally it is depicted with capital S. Sulfur is designated with capital S. You know that symbol of sulfur is S. In that FeS2 means it is iron sulfide, iron pyrites we can say, zinc sulfide. We are calling that one as zinc blend. And Pb means plumbum, lead in normal name. So lead sulfide is also called as galena. Next, hydrazirum, HGS. HGS, it is the sulfide ore of Hg, so it is called as cinnabar. The ore of Hg is cinnabar, the ore of lead is galena, the ore of zinc is zinc blend, the ore of iron is iron pyrites. Are you able to follow? See, iron will be extracted even from iron pyrites. In that also iron content will be there. Iron sulfide, FeS2 in that one atom of iron will be there. If you take zinc sulfide in that one atom of zinc, you can able to get it. If you take the galena in that The lead will be the main metal. You can able to get the metal. Hydraserum, which is there in Cinnabar ore. Ore name is Cinnabar. Is it clear? Oxide ore. Some of the ores they are available in the oxide form in the earth crust. Example is Al2O3, 2H2O. In that two molecules of water will be there. In the same manner, already in the 9th and 10th classes we have learnt about copper sulfate, blue vitriol. Copper sulfate crystals we have taken. If you strongly heat it, it loses its blue color. Again, if you cool down, again it gets that atmospheric water, moisture, and then it gets the blue color. That you have observed in the 9th class itself. So here some of the molecules they are having that water in it. Inbuilt they are having some 2 molecules or 10 molecules or 7 molecules of water. So in that bauxite is one example. Alumina Al2O3. In that water molecules will not be there. Zincite, it is the oxide ore ZnO. Zinc is available in oxide form and sulfide form. Both the forms it is available in the nature. Next other one is copper oxide Cu2O cuprite. Its name is cuprite. Fe2O3 hematite ore. See in the blast furnace in Ukkunagaram, they are mostly making that iron from hematite ore. Comparing with iron pyrites in the first row, this is more familiar. Hematite ore very conveniently, economically we can able to get more benefits by using hematite ore to extract iron from it. Its formula is Fe2O3. Magnetite, it is also iron ore only, Fe3O4. How many ores are there all in one for this iron? Tell me. Yes, what FeS2 means in that also iron is there. So altogether here regarding iron, 3 ores are given. One is sulfide ore, rest of the 2 are oxide ores. Out of these 3, which ore we are using it for the extraction of iron? Very good. Very good. Hematite ore only we are using it. Now comes to some of the metals, they are available in the carbonate form in the earth crust. Especially calcium carbonate, limestone, sunnam, limestone. Zinc carbonate, calamine we can say. Next, FeCO3, iron is also there even in the carbonate form. The ore of zinc is calamine. Carbonate ore of zinc is calamine, not other name. Normally, zinc metal, it is available in pyrite means sulfide ore form and carbonate ore form. Two different forms they are available in nature. What am? No, no, we cannot get. Sulfur is a non-metal. Today we are going to deal with metals or non-metals. For your kind information, we are extracting the metals from their ores. So from iron pyrites, we can get the metal like iron. And by using the hematite ore also, we are able to get iron metal. By using magnetite also, we are getting iron. Here, siderite, FeCO3 means it is available in the earth crust in the form of carbonate ore. But it is difficult for us to take that iron from iron carbonate, FeCO3. It is difficult for us to remove the sulfur from FeS2. And it is difficult for us to remove 4 oxygen atoms from magnetite to get Fe3. But it is very easy for us to take that iron from iron oxide Fe2O3. Are you able to follow me? Now comes to dolomite. See, in the competitive examinations, they are asking that two metals are available in one ore. What is it means? You are supposed to remember dolomite ore. That is what I have given the tabular form. In that calcium one metal is there, even magnesium also will be there. Both are available in carbonate form. Calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate. Two metals are there in single ore. What is that? You pick out one of the option means you are supposed to select only dolomite. Next, another one is magnesite MgCO3. It is a magnesium ore. Magnesite is a magnesium ore. Next, dolomite is for ore for calcium and magnesium. Siderite is for iron, and calamine is for zinc. Limestone is for calcium. Is it okay? Now go to sulfate. Some of the metals they are combining with sulfate radicals. See here, the first one is gypsum. Gypsum. Last year you have learned that gypsum. Where we are using that gypsum means in the cement industry. This also it will be useful. This bit also will be useful for you in the coming exams. Gypsum we are using in the cement industry not to set set the cement. Setting of cement means it becomes like a stone like Poland. In Poland, very hard rock like texture will be formed when it is reacting with the atmospheric air and water vapor. To avoid that one, 2 to 3% of gypsum will be added before it is going for packing. That is what the moment when you open the pack, immediately after usage of half packet, immediately tightly they will pack it. If not within weekdays, it becomes a very hard lump or hard stone. Okay, which is unbreakable. Next one is magnesium sulfate. Epsom salt it is having 7 water molecules. MgSO4 7H2O you write. Epsom salt. It is a ore of magnesium. Halide ores, carnallite. See KCl, MgCl2 and 6H2O in that we are using Mg. We are extracting Mg from the carnallite ore. Is it audible now? From carnallite ore, we are extracting magnesium. Formula of carnallite is KCl, MgCl2, 6 water molecules. Okay. Next one is cryolite. Cryolite. Its formula is Na3AlF6. Na3AlF6. See, some of the ores available in their sulfur form, sulfide forms. Some they are available in oxide form. Some they are available in carbonate form. Some they are available in sulfate form. Next one. All pyrite ores. Which is see, all pyrites ores are roasted. Here, roasting means you know that word roasted once on mummy, it should be roasted like that. Sometimes you are asking potato curry should be roasted, chicken fry also you are willing to eat like that. Here, roasted means heating the substance in the presence of oxygen. That is what we are calling it as roasting. Okay. All pyrite ores are roasted means if you take any sulfide ore, if it is strongly heated in the presence of oxygen, then you can able to remove the sulfur from that compound and it forms that oxide ore. From that oxide ore again you can able to remove the oxygen by using some reducing reagent. Next here, one more condition for roasting is it should be taken to the below the melting point, heating the substance below the melting point in the presence of oxygen. That is what we are calling it as roasting. Next, another one is all CO3 ores means carbonate ores. All carbonate ores are calcinated. Calcination means heating the substance very strongly in the absence of oxygen. Heating the substance very strongly in the absence of oxygen. That is what called as calcination. Here also heating below it. Calcination means heating the substance or the ore strongly in the absence of oxygen or in the absence of air. It is called as calcination. Example, calcination is nothing but heating the ore very strongly in the absence of air or oxygen is called as calcination. Next comes to here another process also there in the metallurgy, smelting, smelting. In that compulsory blast furnace is needed. Blast furnace is needed. In that roasting also will be done and calcination also will be there. Roasting means heating the substance in the presence of oxygen. Calcination means heating the substance in the absence of oxygen. Both you can able to do it in the same blast furnace. Next here, let us, okay, I will draw the diagram. See, blast furnace. This is what the blast furnace. It is there in the steel plant, and it will be lined with special variety of bricks. It has to withstand very high temperatures. So here, with the help of cup and cone arrangement, they can able to send ore, iron ore. What is the iron ore? What is the iron ore? I told you. Actually, hematite, next, hmm, magnetite, and two more ores. I told you. See here, by using the cup and cone instrument, this is what cup and cone instrument, we are dumping that ore, coke and silicon dioxide into the blast furnace. This is lined with a special variety of bricks I told you. It is resembling like this. Narrow at the top and broad in the middle, and here also is lined like this. Next here, one outlet will be there for the waste gases to let out. Next here, what is the mixture we are dumping into this? Batch we are calling BATCH. Batch means mixture of materials which we are dumping into this blast furnace. For making the steel, compulsory they need to use this blast furnace. Many chemical reactions will be taken place in this waste gases and very hot air will be sent through this. Tires we are calling hot air will be blasted into this. Very hot air. Next, another one is here nearly 1200 degrees Celsius. Next, 900, 700 degrees Celsius, and 300 degrees Celsius. Like the different zones will be there inside. Okay, this is what the blast furnace. Next, another one is here slag will come out. Sorry, here slag will be taken out. Slag out. So here molten metal will be taken out. Molten metal. Next, other one is whenever we are using this blast furnace for melting process, we are using melting process. Okay. Here, what are the materials we have taken means ore, hematite ore. What is the formula for hematite ore? Fe2, Fe2O3. Hematite ore we have selected. And then coke means the fine carbon atoms. The fine carbon atoms will be sent into that. First, what is going to happen means carbon, it burns in the presence of oxygen and gives rise to carbon dioxide gas. Next, that carbon dioxide, again here many coke particles will be there. Maximum quantity of carbon atoms will be there. So it combines with coke in carbon. the carbon which is present in the coke, and then 2CO will be formed. Carbon monoxide will be formed. And this carbon monoxide is the best reducing reagent. It combines with Fe2O3 and CO gives rise to 2Fe plus CO2. In this way, we are able to extracting the molten metal at the bottom. And one more thing is, in that some of the impurities has SiO2. In metallurgy, hmm, you see that reactants and products. Here, first reaction, carbon and oxygen, carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide again, it combines with coke which is dropped into this blast furnace, coke particles. The moment when they come here, hot air is sent into this, they burnt off with carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide will be coming out. That carbon monoxide, it reacts with Fe2O3. Here Fe2O3, from that to get a pure metal, compulsory oxygen to be eliminated out. Oxygen to be removed. So to remove the oxygen, we are using the reducing reagent is carbon monoxide, and it is combining with oxygen and it comes out in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Now you see here. Later we can balance this equation. First you see to here. What is the impurity in this? Normally this hematite ore is available in the earth crust that will be made into 1-inch pieces. Those 1-inch pieces along with coke powder and some impurities, we are calling them as gangue. GANGUE, gangue. Okay? And here inside we are able to find even the limestone also will be there. Limestone. What is the limestone formula? Impurities present in the ores, they are called as gangue. GANGUE, gangue. Okay. Next here, limestone will be there. If you take limestone, CaCO3, formula is CaCO3. When it dissociates, it gives rise to CaO plus CO2. Okay. Next, to remove the impurities, we are using flux here. This is what SiO2 is the impurity in the hematite ore. When it reacts with the flux called CaO, we are able to find that CaSiO3. This is what called as slag. Calcium silicate as slag, and this is what calcium oxide is flux, and this is gangue. Bottom up. CaOCO3. So CaCO3 means limestone. After strong heating, calcination process. See, in this I told you in the blast furnace, there is a possibility of roasting and calcination both will be happening. At one temperature, normally the roasting, strongly heating the substance in the presence of oxygen, and in the other cases we are able to find that heating the substance in the absence of oxygen. Both the things will be possible. Here this reaction is the example for calcination. Carbonate ore on strong heating, this indicates that strongly heated in the absence of oxygen. And it will dissociate to give two products. One is calcium oxide and the other one is carbon dioxide. The moment when the carbon dioxide is formed, it escapes from this through waste gases, sulfur dioxide, P2O5, like that waste gases they emit out. To remove the impurities from the hematite ore, here we are using flux. Okay, after making reaction with or combined with SiO2 which is there in the hematite ore gives rise to slag, which we are calling it as CaSiO3, means calcium silicate. It is called as calcium silicate. Hmm. Tell me. Bottom up. Flux is the material which we are using it for removing the impurities called gang. Then we are able to get slag, SLAG, slag. Okay, this slag actually in the steel plant industry it is of no use. This will be taken out. Here you see there is an outlet for slag out. At the bottom of the blast furnace there is an outlet pipe. Through that slag will be taken out. How your mother can able to remove the butter from the buttermilk? ఎలాగమ్మ చేత్తోని ఇలా తీసేస్తారు కదా బటర్ని. ఇక్కడ చేతులు పెట్టడానికి the temperature is very high. So that is what they are not supposed to keep their hand to remove the slag. Automatically it will float on the surface of molten iron metal. So that is what it will be removed automatically. It floats up to here. Only the molten metal of iron, wrought iron if it is there. Above that we are able to see in this particular zone slag will be there. That slag will be taken out, CaSiO3, and it will be used in Pittapuram. There are some fertilizer industries are there. For making the fertilizers to increase the fertility of the soil, they are using this one as raw material. In tankers they will take out. Is it clear? Molten metal will be taken out. After cooling, it will be made into iron sheets or rods, whatever the desirable materials. And they want to protect it from oxidation of the metal. Okay? Now comes to the slide. Smelting. Is it okay? Once again, the previous slide, once again you see. Here we have discussed until that smelting. Later on, extraction of crude metal from the ore. Extraction of crude metal from the ore. Metal extraction from its ore directly proportion to its reactivity. Means it is easy for us to remove the metal when it is more reactive or less reactive, you tell me. Here, metal extraction from its ore is directly proportional to its reactivity. Normally, there is a reactivity series in your chemistry, which you are going to learn in future classes. Okay? Here, that also I have given. Method of arranging the metals in decreasing order. Downward arrow indicates that decreasing order of their reactivity is called activity series of metals. Activity series of metals. Is it okay? Are you able to listen? Next you see highly reactive metals. If you take sodium metal in the yesterday's class, I told you sodium metal. If you take sodium metal Na, it reacts with oxygen and immediately it forms that two molecules of sodium oxide 2Na2O. It is a balanced chemical equation. 4Na plus O2 gives rise to 2Na2O. Next, calcium metal also reactive metal, so it reacts with oxygen to form calcium oxide. In the same manner, magnesium metal also. But you have to just remove the outermost layer from the metal, then you can able to find that magnesium oxide will be formed. That we are using it in our Diwali crackers, magnesium metals. Next here, another example is given. It is not balanced. We can balance later. Aluminium, when it reacts with oxygen, aluminium oxide, Al2O3, alumina, I told you. Next, Fe plus O2 gives rise to Fe2O3. These equations we can use. Try to balance it. First two they were balanced. Next three you are supposed to balance later. Iron metal, when it reacts with oxygen, it is forming that Fe2O3. Now you tell me, is it happening in our day-to-day life or not? If you purchase any iron article, iron rods or anything, if you take, after few days later, there is a reaction between iron metal and oxygen, iron metal and water vapor, and there is a possibility of getting rusting. It becomes Weak. When it gets rust, it becomes very weak. Normally, iron metal is strong only. Next, zinc plus oxygen. Next here, zinc plus oxygen, zinc oxide. 2Zn plus O2 gives rise to 2ZnO. That also please balance later. Next here, noble metals will be there. I told you already platinum, arum and argentum. Ag means silver, argentum, Au means arum gold, Pt means platinum. These three metals they will not oxidize, they will not combine with oxygen. So they were called as noble metals or they are also called as low reactive metals. Low reactive metals. Is it okay? Now comes to what? Here, one is gold, amma. Au, arum. Next, silver means Ag. Next, third one, platinum. These three metals, they will not react freely with oxygen. Oxygen is available in the nature, no? So, they will not react with oxygen to form their respective oxides. That is what their cost is more. They are called as precious metals, costly metals. Okay? Now you see, the next one you see, smelting, where it will be carried out. It is carried out in the blast furnace. Bottom, is it audible? Hmm? So here, already the equations and all I have shown you. Once you check it, smelting carried out in blast furnace for extraction of iron metal. We are using it in that zone of hearth. Molten metal is collected at the bottom. This is what called as zone of hearth. Zone of hearth. Zone of hearth. ZOH. Next, another one is zone of combustion. Zone of combustion. Coke is a reducing agent. So these two reactions are happening in that zone of combustion. Here it will be happening there. Carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide combines with coke. Coke means which is nothing but carbon, and it forms that carbon monoxide. Next, zone of reduction. This is what happening nearby the zone of reduction. Fe2O3 plus CO, carbon monoxide, gives rise to 2Fe plus CO2. So this is what comes under zone of reduction. This reaction happens. Zone of fusion, it happens here. Zone of fusion will be happening here. Calcium carbonate gives rise to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And next reaction, SiO2 combines with CaO. SiO2 silicon dioxide combines with CaO, gives rise to CaSiO3. CaO is flux. To remove the gang, we are using flux, and finally we are able to get the slag. Calcium silicate is a slag formed in iron extraction. Whatever the wrought iron which is molten metal which is coming out, it is having 98% of purity, 2% of carbon will be there in that. Roasting, it is happening in the presence of oxygen less than the substance will be heated less than its melting point. There metal oxide plus one of the product will be formed. Here, two molecules of ZnS means sulfide ore we have taken. Two molecules, when it is burnt in the presence of three molecules of oxygen, we are able to find two molecules of ZnO plus two molecules of sulfur dioxide. Means we are converting that sulfide ore into oxide ore. and this oxide ore again, from that oxygen will be eliminated out and zinc will be made, because directly we cannot remove the sulfur from zinc sulfide. Different steps are needed. That is what, from zinc sulfide first we are converting that into zinc oxide by oxidation or roasting. Later on reduction process we are using by using the coke or carbon. Zinc oxide plus carbon gives rise to zinc plus carbon monoxide, zinc plus carbon monoxide gas. Is it okay? Now you go through the other one. Is it clear? Principles of metallurgy here. Dressing of ore. It is not simply ore, dressing of ore. Before you are coming to school, you will go for dressing yourself. Looking into the mirror, whether you are well dressed or not, you will see. Before extracting the metal, first of all, we have to shut down, we have to remove all the impurities. That is what called as dressing. Dressing of ore, elimination of all the impurities. So that is what we are calling it as concentration of ore. Concentration of ore by using hand picking. Hand picking means whenever the mudstones are there in your grains. Mudstones are there in the rice grains. Hand picking process your grandmother will use. She want to pick out with hand and she want to throw it. In the same manner, here also in the metallurgy also we are using the method called hand picking. Any stone like structures, impurities are there, they will use the hand picking process. In certain ores, washing technique they are using. See, even we are not only removing the stones from the rice grains, they will wash 1 or 2 times. They will drain that water before your mother cooks the white rice. Have you ever observed it? There is no response. Next one is froth flotation and magnetic separation. These two. Others also you ask them to join among these diagrams and are. See here, washing, froth flotation means for sulfide ores, pyrite ores we are using. Sulfide ore means pyrite ores. Next one is magnetic separation. Magnetic separation. For oxide ores like Fe2O3 or Fe3O4 we are using it. Next here, extraction of crude metal from the ore. For that, metals of here, metals they are of 3 types. Metals of low reactivity means they are in the native state, like gold, silver and platinum. Metals of medium reactivity or moderate reactivity, and the third one is metals of high reactivity. 3 different varieties of metals will be available in nature. Now if you take the metals of low reactivity which are available in the native state like gold, silver and platinum, they are available in the sulfide ore form. Sulfide means directly sulfur you cannot eliminate. First of all it should be converted into oxide, then oxygen will be removed and pure metal you are able to get it. So for that roasting, next after making the roasting process, sulfide ores will be converted into oxide ores. Then you are going for reduction. Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. So you are able to get the metal by refining. These metals are not 100% pure. That is what refining is needed. Next comes to metals of medium or the moderate reactivity. Medium or moderate reactivity metals. They may be available in the carbonate ore form or sulfide ore form. Pyrites means sulfide ore form. Carbonate CaCO3, ZnCO3 like that. Copper carbonate CuCO3 like that. Carbonate ore should be First of all, calcination process, by using that it should be converted into oxide ore. And sulfide ores also, after roasting, strongly heating, sulfide, from the sulfide ore, sulfur will be eliminated. That also will be converted into oxide ore, ZnO, like that. ZnS will be converted into ZnO. Next, reduction of metal. Reduction means from the oxide of the metal, we are removing the oxygen. ZnO should be converted into Zn. CuO should be converted into Cu. Like that, we are eliminating the oxygen from the metal oxide. That is what called as reduction of metal. In that, again, different processes are there. Number one is chemical reduction. Number two, auto reduction. Number three is displacement method. Number four is electrolytic reduction. Electrolytic reduction. Here we are able to find refining of metal means fine impurities will be removed by using this refining of metal. In that, copper and zinc, these two metals we are using these techniques. Next, here let us take metals of high reactivity, lighter metals, and they are having highly electropositive nature. First group and second group elements are belonging to S block elements. So NaCl, MgCl2, BeCl2, like that. And here 2Na2O, Na2O oxide form also they are available. And here we are using electrolysis of molten ore. We are using electrolysis means by sending current through it, we can able to break that NaCl into Na positive ion and Cl negative. Where that Na positive will be attracted among nearby anode or cathode. What is the name given for Na positive? Anion or cation? The positively charged ions are called as cations. They are getting attracted towards the cathode. So 100% pure metals like Na, Mg, Al, they will be attained or they will be obtained nearby the cathode. So they are having maximum purity. Highly reactive metals by electrolysis process we are getting, that is what they are having complete purity. Now let us see here what is meant by froth flotation. I will show you. Look at the bottom. Froth flotation. See, we are using this froth flotation process for sulfide ores. Okay, let us take water along with oil, fine oil. Fine oil mixer will be taken. Your network is very poor. Morning onwards, we don't have the current. Is it okay now? Emma, is it visible or not? You check. See, it is recording. We will keep that video. You just observe it. Try for that at least few minutes. Here, this is what the trough where we have taken water and fine oil mixer in that, and this is what the compressed air we are sending. Compressed air sending through this pipe, and this pipe is having holes when it is just kept in the container with water and fine oil mixer, and we need to add that zinc sulfide powder. Should be powdered sulfide ore we are supposed to take in this. thoroughly it should be mixed in this water and fine oil by using compressed air. After some time we are able to find some foam comes out. Foam, nuraga. Some foam comes out. See, this foam is having four particles. Four particles. Sulfide ore particles will be just float on the surface, and here impurities will be collected. Impurities. Impurities will be settled at the bottom, and the ore particle they will stick on to the foam or the nuraga froth.
మీరు మాట్లాడండి రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది.
So here impurities will be collected at the bottom of the container, and we are able to find the ore particle they will stick on to the froth and they will float on the surface. So this will be separated after some time. The ore particles, the dusted ore particles will be taken out. In this way we can able to remove the impurities from sulfide ores. Impurities will be removed from sulfide ores by using froth flotation process. Another one is magnetic separation. Magnetic separation. Two magnetic wheels will be there, and they are having the connective belt. If you go to the flour mill, rice mill, if you go, this type of conveyor belt will be there. And here there is a hopper facility. Hopper. So if you take iron oxide, Fe2O3 means this is hematite ore, and to separate the impurities like tin oxide, impurities, non, what we can say that magnetic substance as impurity, you want to separate. These two mixer will be powdered and it will be dumped into the hopper. This is what called as hopper. And these, the mixture of impurities along with Fe2O3 will be fall on this belt, rolling belt. And they move like this. When they come here, you are able to find there is a big heap of magnetic substance. Magnetic substance. Big heap. Magnetic substance means Fe2O3 particles, they will be falling here, and impurities, they fall here in the other heap. Impurities. Impurities are non-magnetic in nature. They are non-magnetic in nature. Magnetic substance, it is falling to the close to this particular wheel, and non-magnetic substance impurities, they will fall away far away from this particular wheel. They will fall as a big heap. This is what the conveyor belt. These two are the magnetic wheels. Magnetic wheels. It is exactly resembling like our the rice mill. Inside how the husk will be separated, how the grains will be separated, like that we are able to find here. When the hopper, inside the hopper, impurities along with hematite ore is powdered and dropped here. That powder, it is falling on the conveyor belt and it is moving towards this. Because of the magnetic property of this wheel, the heap of magnetic substance will be found here, and another heap will be found far away from that. That is what impurities, they will be separated from the main ore. This is what called as magnetic separation. We are using this for separating the non-magnetic substance from the given ore. Thank you, children.